Hello everyone, and welcome to another Modswell video. I am your host Maxwell. It's 7:30 AM and I've just gotten off work. Bear in mind I started at 5 PM yesterday. This could potentially get a little funny. Today I'm going to be taking a look at some mods to use alongside Redux in your brand new load orders. Redux, for those who don't know, is a brand new alternate start mod, complete with its own storyline and custom voices. This mod is going to be changing the game in such a massive way that it should draw people back into yet another playthrough. With that in mind, I wanted to find some perfect partners to use alongside it to reinvigorate the love of the game for those who have played maybe one too many times. This video isn't about Redux though, so if you want to hear my thoughts on that, check the video that's linked in the top corner right now. Lengthy intro over, let's dive on in. Redux is 100% going to make people want to start a totally fresh order. It makes the story so different from what we've played a great many times over. If the story is going to change, then we should also look to changing some of the game's basic mechanics. And for me, two names in particular stand out here: EnaiSiaion and SimonMagus. Both of these authors have entire setups which change how the game operates. Perk, magic and class overhauls, edits to combat, standing stones and a bunch more. These two authors have a multitude of options that can be mixed and matched in a variety of ways, including with the other authors' work. I happen to be a big time EnaiSiaion fanboy, but from what I've seen, this is one of those 50-50 situations. You literally cannot choose wrong here. The reasons that I think the edits from either of these authors' mods work alongside Redux is the edits, whilst feeling totally fresh, don't detract from what Skyrim is, only add to it. Valkyrie, for example, is very much Skyrim. I know I'm playing Skyrim when I'm using this mod. That being said, it is a far improved Skyrim in many ways, but I am angling to something here. By choosing EnaiSiaion, it will unlock another mod that I want to be using in a build alongside Redux, SRCEO. This mod is going to add different perks from the vanilla tree, which makes fights require adapting to win or even survive. If, however, you happen to have Ordinator installed, then guess what? Those perks are going to be dished out instead. In addition to this, a larger variety of vanilla spells as well as some from Apocalypse will be used against you. SRCEO is a complete enemy overhaul that is changing all of the standard features, such as raising the possible level of enemies for a better challenge throughout the late game, editing the enemy AI so they use more attack diversity and challenge you correctly for their builds. Overall, SRCEO is one of the most complete enemy edits and creates a more enjoyable game, and even extends the time that you can play an order for purely by raising those top levels. It does a fantastic job of holding back all of the extra power that you receive from game-changing mods that Enai and Simon have released. There is one holdback though, which makes it hard to use consistently: a cost of 256 megabytes. There is no doubt that you can have a great enemy edit for around 1 single megabyte, so I often cannot justify the cost to myself. But if I'm building a load order for a fresh feeling game, then it 100% has to be included. The enemies will feel as fresh as your brand new storyline. The second mod I highly recommend using alongside Redux is Diverse Dragons Collection. Now this one is a very obvious mod that I really don't need to talk on too much. But for those of you who don't know, DDC is a mod that adds in a whole host of brand new dragons with custom designs, abilities and difficulty. DDC adds in 28 new dragons in 7 ranks of difficulty. These dragons have access to 16 new breath damage types and 19 new abilities. It again is associated with a big cost on Xbox of 231 megabytes. However, there is now a version in 1K that is only 54.8 megabytes. That's all of the basic stuff out of the way, but why am I using this mod? Well, there's actually a few reasons. First and foremost, I love dragons feeling like bosses, and these do exactly that. A big issue with Redux is I simply don't know how to trigger the dragons. I know I could start the vanilla quest line up until they start getting resurrected. But I'm not about that life. I'm using Redux to play a brand new game. I will say the dragons did eventually start showing on their own, but it took a while and I couldn't pin down exactly what had happened. So the next time through I added in DDC and now I have dragons from when I want them. The best dragons too. These are easily some of my favourite additions to the game. There are other, far less costly mods that will kickstart the dragons, but they don't look as cool or feel new. These do. I told you I wouldn't be long on DDC. Next up is another mod I have mentioned time and time again. More Bandit Camps Explorer mode. This mod is adding in a ton of brand new camps to explore and loot. These camps on occasion come with their own boss bandits that are only killable by you. This is going to play extremely well with SRCEO, making those specific bosses feel even more fearsome. Each of the camps are integrated into the game so well that you'd be forgiven for not knowing exactly which are real and which aren't. Their sizes vary massively from large fort-styled camps to smaller campsites with a few tents and a chest. You find them in areas where you generally find bandits locally, but they slot into a part of the environment that likely had a huge blank space. I have a few favourite spots that you may have seen me use in previous videos. To me, those don't feel that fresh because they're always in my game. But that's very much a me problem and not one I'm bothered by. I will be including more bandit camps for many orders to come, and at 7.9 megabytes, it's damn easy to do. The final thing I want to talk about is full quest or DLC mods. This one is going to be tricky for a few reasons. The main one that popped up for me though was how some of those start. Take Worm's Tooth for example. If you're role-playing Redux and not wanting to take any steps into the main story, then guess what? Worm's Tooth isn't going to trigger for you. Broomer on the other hand has multiple ways to start it. Sure, one of them is taking down Alduin, but you're given more options than that, and trust me, this is an easy one to get going. But you likely aren't going to have over 2 gigabytes of space that you want to put in here. Although, I'm going to completely go against what I just said there in about 2 minutes. PC mains can ignore me and just keep on downloading. There are a few options here that you can very easily get going. Fulscar, Moonpath, Forgotten City, Beyond Reach, and a bunch more. But the two I want to focus on are Legacy of the Dragonborn and interesting NPCs. You want something that complements Redux in a great way, then look no further than these. Legacy of the Dragonborn is a huge mod that adds a new way to play your game. I have of course covered this mod in a video before, so I do advise checking that out and I will link it now. But to put it simply, Legacy of the Dragonborn gives you a new task, filling up a brand new museum in Solitude with a whole bunch of new artifacts. Have a place dedicated to your accomplishments. Have a whole bunch of new accomplishments to achieve. This mod comes complete with a brand new quest line, a guild, new relics, artifacts and more. However, for all of this you do have to fork out 1023.9 megabytes, literally just a fraction shy of the mod size limit. It is damn worthwhile. I would say this mod easily adds over 50 hours to the potential length of your order, likely hundreds if you plan on being a completionist. Things are about to get tougher on the reserve space though, with interesting NPCs taking up 3 mod spots and a combined 2.5 gigabytes. Like I said, it's actually more than Broomer. There are ways to cut this down, which I explained in my video on this mod. Again, I will link that right now. Interesting NPCs includes more than 250 voiced NPCs, 50 plus quest lines, over 25 followers with location-based commentary, and over 15 marryable NPCs. These NPCs account for a further 40,000 voice lines, which is just shy of doubling the vanilla count of 44,000. This is where the cost comes in, as part 1 contains a chunk of the important lines and further work being spread out into the second and third pack. There are, however, other options such as using vanilla voice pack, which costs a damn sight less. This is all explained in my other video, so I just want to talk about why this mod fits in with Redux so well, and it's simple. The characters and voice work in this file makes for far more compelling exploration with the new super followers, or a more immersive trip into town. These NPCs are spread out amongst the entire map, meaning you're going to come across them as you're just playing along. Again, this mod fits in so well to the game that these characters feel important and necessary, not just needlessly placed. They react to their environment as well as other factors, making their voice lines varied every time you speak to them. Both of the mods in this part will need some patching with a fair amount of mods. This is mostly because they change a whole bunch, but this should be easy enough to get working because the patches are readily available. And on that, I'm going to call it. I will be back on normal shifts next week and will be able to spend a little bit more time on putting my videos together. These last 2 weeks have been really hectic, so thank you all for sticking it out with me. I have left links to the modders or mods mentioned in this video in the description below. Alongside this, there are also links to some useful communities such as my Discord server where you can get help on your builds, or the Skyrim Xbox mod subreddit where we're currently running live Ask Me Anythings with mod authors, so if you're an author who wants to take part, please do send me a message. If you're interested in listening to these authors explain what they do and give advice on their mods, then I highly advise joining up. It will be helpful. If this video has been helpful too, then please don't forget to like, comment and of course subscribe if you aren't already. But whatever you do, thank you for watching and I hope to see you in the next one. But for me, it's time for bed.